Kia ora, it is Lauren here from Chasing Your Shaped Ball. Anyway guys, I am going to do a review time on the Black Wolf Grand Tour 65 litre pack. Anyway guys, I thought I'd give you an in-depth review of the Black Wolf Grand Tour 65 litre pack. Anyway, with Black Wolf Grand Tour there is also the 85 litre pack, and the reason why I didn't go for the 85 litre pack is I actually had a Sierra in the 85 litre pack and this was my problem. My big pack is off, thankfully. Oh my god, I hated carrying that bag. And the thing was, it only weighed 15 kilos. I hate wearing this bag, it's so heavy. Yeah, it was just way too heavy. Even if I was just putting for a couple of weeks worth of clothes, it was just way too heavy for me. At the end of my Japan trip last year, I decided I wanted to actually start minimizing because it just got to a point where it was actually painful and it just become very awkward as well. So the great thing about this Grand Tour is that it's actually a 2-in-1. So it's not just a pack as well, but it's also a wheelie bag. So it's actually perfect for situations where you're actually getting the luggage off the carousel. You can just wheel it out. Or if you are going into a train situation, you can wheel it on or whatever if you're on public transport. However, if you're walking long distances, you can also put it on your back as well. So it's kind of versatile in that kind of way. What I liked about this whole pack and why I decided to go for it when I was looking for a new pack. Anyway, I'll give you some features of this pack anyway. Firstly, it has the 65 litre main pack and it also actually has a 20 litre day pack with it as well, which is actually really good because it can you can actually separate them, and if you want to use the day pack as your say for instance when you're going out somewhere, you can use it and you're not having to take all of your luggage with you. And also you don't really need to take an extra backpack with you as well. The other really great thing about it, obviously being a 2-in-1 with the wheels and everything like that, is that the wheels are actually all terrain. So it means that they can actually go over most terrains. Obviously muddy surface is probably an exception. But in saying that you can be walking down the street in the city somewhere, but also if you're camping somewhere, you can still take it over rough terrain as well. But also, as I mentioned before, in rough terrain, obviously, you might want to use it as a pack in that situation. And the great thing is about actually the pack, converting it from a wheelie to a pack, it only takes a couple of minutes to do. And it's pretty easy to actually hook up and you can go on your way again. And I've never actually had any issues with the whole converting it from a pack to a wheelie and then vice versa, because it's just that easy. One of the great things about the big pack obviously is the lots of pockets, and especially on the inside, you know, you can separate your toiletries away from your clothes so then you don't actually have leakages. There's other little side pockets on the side which are great, where you can actually stuff little small things if you need to, and it's great because you can do that. And the other great thing is it also has the clips in the middle to actually secure your luggage in transit, so then you're not going to have things all messed up everywhere. So it's really great in that sense. My only gripe that I would actually have about the main pack would be that it's not like the Sierra, where it's actually the Sierra can be both a top loader and also a clam kind of opening loader. So in the case that you need to cram your last minute things at the top, you can't do that with the Grand Tour. So the only other gripe I do actually have with the Grand Tour is obviously the shoulder strap situation. I do understand that with it being a 2-in-1, you do need to reduce a little bit of space, but I do believe that it probably could have done with a little bit more padding at the top, especially for a lady who may actually be wearing a singlet or something like that. I have tried it with wearing a singlet and I just felt that everything was rubbing, so it was just a little bit painful at the end. The great thing about the day pack that I love is the RFID compartment. So if you have any kind of cards, your passport, anything that might be scannable, and especially if you're traveling to an area where it is well known that there are pickpocketers out there doing the whole scanning thing, and yes, it is true, you can actually use the pocket there in the hope that it may actually prevent it. I actually haven't tested to know whether or not I can pick up any kind of scanning off it, so I don't know whether or not it even works. But from a little bit more of a peace of mind situation, if you've got things like your wallet or anything like that, that you might want to be using as protection, it's a great initiative to use. My only gripe about the whole RFID thing is probably could have used with an extra zipper on it, and then you could secure it as with a padlock. And especially if you are in places where I do know from experience, like Rome and also Paris as well, where you might be going somewhere in the peak season, and it is well known, and it is also very well documented that there are pickpocketers around, and it could have used with an extra zipper, so then you could padlock it up. I have found that with padlocking my bags whilst I travel, it just seems to be a bit more of a deterrent compared to using something, just leaving my zips open. I seem to find it's a bit more of a deterrent. I haven't had any issues with pickpocketers in that sense. So yeah. The other thing that I love about the Grand Tour, particularly the day pack, is that you can actually put a lot of your technology into that pack, and it's very versatile in that way. In saying that, when I mentioned about putting your technology in, it has pockets for your laptop and that. It also actually has some smaller little pockets that you can use that can be transferred into some sort of like your phone or your iPod or whatever it might be. And it's great in that sense. The only gripe I would actually have about the whole technology thing is it's actually designed more for notebook laptops rather than your traditional laptops. I have a notebook laptop and I also have a traditional laptop, and the traditional laptop just doesn't fit, whereas my notebook does, and my iPad obviously does as well, which is converted into a laptop because it is an iPad Pro. So I seem to find in that way it could have been a little bit bigger, so that you could actually put both of them in there. But I can actually understand that Black Wolf might be actually trying to cut back with how much luggage you can take, and trying to actually take a more minimalist approach to it. So that might be one reason. But I enjoy the pack very much, and it's become quite versatile in my travels wherever I go, whether it's even local or even just skip off to New Zealand. It's actually been really good in that way, and I really actually like the day pack very much. The other gripe that I do actually have about the day pack is obviously the zip situation. Now, I mentioned before about the RFID zips, where it could have actually used with an extra zip, but the other thing that I don't like about it is the zips are actually uneven. So it can pose quite an issue when you're actually trying to open your bag and trying to find what you need, where the zips are uneven, and it could have used with maybe a little bit more length to open up your bag, and it would have been just perfect. But obviously this didn't come into account, and it was a bit disappointing in that way, because I would have felt if it just opened up a little bit more in the situation where you're trying to find your wallet or your passport or whatever it might be, and you might have to actually dig everything out of your bag to find it. It could have actually used that that little bit extra length just to try and open up the bag. But other than that, I seem to have actually found that this bag is perfect. I am actually taking this pack with me on my 6-week adventure around the world, so I will give you guys a bit more of an update of how this will be working out and how my pack did actually survive it. I have taken it so far on 2 trips so far, one to Perth in January just after I received it, and the other one was actually to Christchurch in New Zealand about 2 months ago, where it was getting a lot colder and I needed to take a lot more winter woolies with me because I didn't have any over there. So yeah, I actually really enjoy using this pack. I've found it is so versatile with the 2-in-1 situation, and so far I've had no troubles whatsoever other than my small gripes that I do actually have with the pack. But yeah, anyway guys, if you want to learn more about where I found this pack, and also more information about Black Wolf itself. Black Wolf is an Australian owned brand. I have used their products over the years for the last 4.5 years, and I've had no issues whatsoever with their equipment. and I have everything from tents to sleeping bags, so I certainly enjoy using their equipment because I seem to find it's a lot more reliable compared to some of the other brands on the market that I've found, where the bags are a little bit more likely to tear, or the zips are more likely to break. And that's what I actually like about Black Wolf, is their zips are very sturdy and very secure, whether it's actually on the tents or even on their packs as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it from me. If you guys want to know more about Black Wolf and everything like that, the links are below in the description box, and you can learn all about Black Wolf itself and also where you can purchase their products from as well. Alright guys, I hope that's a great review for you, and I hope that gives you some sort of an insight and maybe even help you in your decision in buying a new pack as well. Alright guys, ka kite!